Hello, hello, hello. I just want to know how my mic sounds. Hi, Vina D. Hi, Irene. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you, Ms. Meals. I didn't connect my mic today, so it did it automatically, just so you know. And I want to say hello to the team. Welcome, welcome, welcome to week 2, Unlocking the Language of the Human Body. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Okay, so yeah, I am doing a mic check. And while I'm doing that, I want to know if you did your homework. In other words, I didn't expect you to do it all. Did you get some of it completed? And if you didn't, I need to know that too. Let me know. Go ahead and type in the chat. Type in the chat. Hi, Star Wars girl. Hi, Vina D. Hi, Olga. Olga. Hello, 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 Mr. Sandeep. Ms. Mills, Miss Haley, she is here. Hello, glad to have you back. And to our intern team led by Mrs. Mills. Did I miss anyone? I said Bina D, Olga, Star Wars girl. If I missed anyone, please forgive me. Hi, DC Kicks, Marie, Courtney, Yvonne, Courtney B. All right, so I'll be calling your names out a little more as we get along in this presentation. I do want to get started. So, just want to remind you if you are in the I2MC course and you want to know how to access your LMS, that's LMS is Learning Management System. It is where your coursework is, right? You just click on the button from our website. Our website is www.amcicoding.com. Click on I2MC course login, click on there. And if you're not registered, you can click there to get registered. All right, so that's how you do it. And then after, if this is your first time, you just click on enroll now. If it's not your first time, it will take you directly to your LMS. All right. And then you just click on this button to start course. And as you can see, it is free. At AMCI, we're not here to sell you anything. Nope. Nope. After this course, you can go and matriculate anywhere. You're going to have a good foundation, and we have done our part. That's it. All right, so just want to let you know that the books required for this course are the following. Number one, you will need the ICD-10-CM manual. You do not need the most up to date. You can be as early as 2023. Do not buy the new books if you're not sure. This course is designed to kind of give you an introduction, help you determine if this is for you. So don't invest all of that money. These books can be very expensive. So, you can borrow books from friends, from people in groups, or you can buy them used. They're very cost effective. It's, definitely recommended that you do that. All right, the next book is your CPT manual and HCPCS Level II. These are the 3 required books. We did put the Bucks manual there. It is not required. It's recommended, but not highly recommended. But it is recommended if you are not being guided. If you need the structure, then the book will be your structure. So we do recommend that. And finally, Lucene. This is your AI coach. This is required for this course, and you will just need to click on the link in your course. It's coding@lucene.com. And be sure to use the promo code AMCI10 to get 20% off. And it is very cost effective. So I'm not here to elaborate on that. The only thing I want to do in terms of Lucene is show you how it works today. And we'll do that at the end of class. So coders, go ahead, grab your syllabus, your paper and your pen. And your syllabus is team. If you can put the syllabus, it's in the in the notes of this slide. If you can put it in the chat, that would be great. But you do not need it. Your course is your syllabus. Again, your course is your syllabus. It's going to keep you on task. But if you want it, go ahead and use it. So I just want to make sure that the team can find the syllabus. It's in the notes of this. I think they're going to get it. All right. I'm moving a little fast here, so slow down, Mrs. J. By the end of this class, our goal is for you to be able to break any term apart. Number 2, define each part. Number 3, apply vowel rules. Number 4, build terms correctly. And 5, you're going to be on your way to reading medical coding documentation. No, you're not going to be this expert, but you're going to be on your way. And that's all that matters, because this course will give you that foundation where you can move on. And I'll also show you how you can move on your own. And finally, you're going to know your limits. All right. So I'm looking in the chat. I want to know who, and no one's really answered me, who got an opportunity to do the work in Module 3. Now, Module 3 of the I2MC course, but if you're an AMCI MCDC student and you're here, yours is Module 2. All right. So if you don't have it, if you don't know, just tell me, say yes or no, because that will determine how we move in this class. And if you don't, I'm going to guess. Someone said they started it. That's all we needed you to do. Get started. All right. All right. So I think we got one person who started. Sorry, I got a little guest in my office right now, and it's a wasp. So I might have to put you all on hold so that we can handle this wasp. But for now, let's go. What is medical terminology if you didn't know? It's a specialized language used in healthcare. This is how we speak. Yeah, this is what the doctors use. This is the language they use, and medical coders, um, nurses, all people within the medical coding, or the medical industry, they use this language. And just like any other language, there are rules. So you're going to have to learn the building rules. You have to break unfamiliar terms into word parts so that you can determine what that word is saying, and then you'll be able to reassemble the parts to determine the meaning. And we're going to hopefully learn that and do that today. So think of MedTerm, learning medical terminology. It's like solving a puzzle. And there are 4 main parts to that puzzle. You've got a prefix, combining vowel, your root word, and your suffix. Now, I just need to know, I probably should have created a poll. And I think we can do one right here, right, Mr. Sandeep? If Mr. Sandeep used to sit back and relax in these sessions, he's working today. I need a poll. I want to know if you know. Just go ahead. Let's do a hand poll. Not a hand poll. Let's just type in the chat. How many of you know what a prefix, suffix, and root or word root is? Just let me know. If you don't, say I don't. I need to know this, because if the majority of you don't, then I need to restructure this instruction. And trust me, I'll do it. Go ahead, type in the chat if you know what a prefix, suffix, and root word or word root is. All right, so we got 2 people saying, hey, I know what it is. And if you don't, I really need to know that. And no judgment, no judgment, okay? We will not judge you. And trust me, you know what? Let me tell you something while you're putting that in the chat. Guess who didn't know any medical terminology when they took their medical coding exam? Me. I didn't know any. And I'm not saying you don't need to know, but I didn't know any. And I passed. So we're not judging here at all. Okay. Hi, Andrea. I say your name because I want to make sure I say it right. And I'm also going to say hello to you, Marie, Angie, Wanda, Crystal, April, Tiffany, Valerie, Kanga. Okay. So the majority of you do, some of you don't. And you know what? If you don't, you'll be okay. Okay. Hi, Marquid, Sapphire. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you all for your participation. Hi, Nina. All right. If I missed you, I apologize. I will try and get you. Hi, Wilma. All right. Let's go. Thank you. All right. So I want to know what you know. And this is kind of like a game that we're going to play. You'll need to, I'm going to give you the definition and you'll have to determine what the answer is. Is it a suffix? Is it a root word? Is it a combining form, prefix, or combining vowel? We're going to play all day. Yeah, let's do it. All right? Okay. And essentially, I planned on us practicing these words and also learning some of the rules on using these. All right. All right. So is it a suffix, word root, combining form, prefix, or combining vowel? I want to know what you already know. This is a basic medical word derived from Greek or Latin. Is it a suffix, word root, combining form, prefix, or combining vowel? Go ahead, type your answers in the chat. Good job. Just get them in there. It doesn't matter. Wrong is not wrong here. Wrong is you've tried. Hi, Cherry. Hi, Arrow. Tiffany C. Okay, Angie, let's go. Let's go. All right, so we're going to pick up the pace just a little bit. Hi, Alicia. All right, so the answer is word root. Number 2. A letter used to join a root to a suffix. Is it a suffix, a combining form, a prefix, or combining vowel? Go ahead, type your answers in the chat. Good job putting those answers in. All right, the answer is combining vowel. Good job. Number 3, a component at the beginning of a word that modifies a root. Is it a suffix, combining form, or prefix? Go ahead, put your answer in the chat. And I know that you're just slightly delayed behind me. It's okay. So I'm going to move along. And the answer is prefix. If you said prefix, way to go. And remember, the word pre means before. Okay. So it goes first. A component at the end of a word that modifies a root. Is it a suffix or a combining form? What say you? That's right. Put your best answers in the chat. That's right, Mr. Sandeep. Okay, and those answers are coming through and they're saying suffix. Way to go, way to go, way to go. And finally, a component formed from a word root and a vowel, that is a combining form. So the vowel and the word root together combine the combining form. All right. Now, here are your 5 components and the word and the the definition as well as an example. When we say word root, that is the basic meaning of the term. And when you think about Cardi, Cardi is a word root or a root word because when you combine it with prefixes or suffixes, it is going to always be about the heart. The main meaning of that term will be pertinent or relevant to the heart. A combining vowel, as I've said before, typically an O is used to join a root and a suffix and a prefix too, but typically a root and a suffix. Combining form the word root and the combining vowel together. So when they are together, like cardio, someone says cardio, that is the combining form. And prefix, it sits in front of the root and it modifies the root. So if Perry sits before Cardi, Perry is modifying the heart. It's telling you where the location around the heart, right? Around the heart. Suffix and it sits at the end of a root word and it also modifies it like itis. So if we think about cardiitis, inflammation of the heart. So it's really important that you know the basic word parts. And today we're going to look at these three and the combining vowel, and we're just going to kind of practice. So let's focus only on the root word. The root is the foundation of the term, and it gives that whole, it's the general meaning of that term, of that whole term. We talked earlier about cardi, that means heart. And if you put a prefix or a suffix on that, on that word root, it's going to be pertinent to the heart, no matter what, no matter what. So if we look at Cardi and let's say we want to say, what is the study of the heart? Well, uh-oh, how did that happen? Hmm. If we say the study of the heart, sorry, it's not here. Okay. Study of the heart is logi, logi. And to put it together, you see you have your combining vowel, cardiology. That's the study of the heart. And that's your suffix. Logi is your suffix. Pericardium, you've got your prefix, pericardium. Cardi is your root word in eum, that's your suffix. So around the heart. And there are some rules. Whenever you are using the root word, a term may contain more than one root. Just know that. Don't think you're limited. If it's cardi, it can only be cardi. No. Now, when you are putting these roots together, multiple roots, you will need a combining vowel often. All right. And sometimes you don't. Now, some words are built without a root word. Yeah, like hyper. I always thought, because I told you I didn't have medical terminology before I took my exam, I always thought hyper was a root word, and it is not. It is a prefix, and it means excessive. Think about someone hyperactive, they are excessively active. Trophy. Trophy means development. I thought that was a root word, and it's not. It's a suffix. How do you know it's a prefix and a suffix, Mrs. J? Well, see this dash here? The dash before the word, if the word comes after that dash, that means it's a suffix. If it comes before the dash, that means it's a prefix. Okay? So when you put it together, hypertrophy, excessive development, you know what we've just seen? We've just seen that a prefix and a suffix can be put together without a root word and also without a combining vowel. So there are rules, but those rules are not universal. So you can't say something is always the rule. And that's it. I'm going to let that marinate. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the combining vowel, the vowel that sits between the word root and the suffix. Essentially, combining vowels make long medical terms easier to pronounce. And the most common combining vowel is O. And this O connects your word parts. Now, this is an example. The suffix, and this is the rule for adding a combining vowel. And it all depends on the suffix, the part at the end of the word, the part after the root word. Okay? And if that suffix begins with a vowel, then you don't append a combining vowel because you'll have two vowels sitting next to each other. If the suffix begins with a consonant, then you keep the vowel. All right, here's the example. If we look at arthritis, the itis in arthritis is your suffix. Itis begins with a vowel, right? So if we want to combine itis, inflammation with Arthur, Arthur means joint, we would not add a combining vowel because the vowel in itis and the combining O would be sitting together and it would be weird. Like, how would you pronounce that? Arthroides. Again, combining vowels are designed to make pronouncing that medical term easier. Okay? Now, when the suffix begins with a consonant, like author, or excuse me, like scope, scope is not a vowel. In author, you got two consonants sitting together. This needs a combining O to kind of make it flow. Arthroscope is the correct word and the correct way to pronounce arthroscope. Hi, Lucky. I'm glad you found me too, Marquid. All right, I'm going to let that marinate. So it is predicated on the suffix. You always ask yourself, is it a vowel or a consonant? Vowels don't get another vowel. Consonants need a vowel. All right, here's another example, gastroenteritis. So the combining vowel, even when the second word root begins with a vowel, so you just kind of leave it there. Gastro is already there. Gastroenteritis. Oh, excuse me. Gastro is your combining, is your word, gastro, with your combining vowel. Enteritis, wow, oh, this is, I wasn't ready for this because we have two word parts here. So when you have two word roots, you're going to need that combining vowel. You have gastra, which is your first word root. Enter is your second word root. Now, this rule, this combining vowel rule, only applies to the suffix. Okay? So the suffix is itis. You would not append a combining vowel there, but you would when you have two word roots if it is essential, if it applies, right? So gastro, enter, that needs a vowel. But the itis, that's your suffix. It does not. I wasn't ready for the two right then. I thought it was after. All right, so a combining form is written as the word root plus the O, cardio, arthro, gastro. These are examples of combining forms. Also, you have adeno, that means gland, carcino, cancer, cardio, heart, chemo, chemical, sizo means to cut, dermato is skin, entero means small intestine, and gastro, that's your stomach. And so somebody might say, Mrs. J, we're not going to remember these words. I know. I got you. I got you. This isn't the class to study or learn these words. Today, we're learning the technique of building a word, and I have something for you to learn and practice these terms, okay? But if you look at them, some of them make sense. Carcino, for some people might know this is cancer. Carcinoma. Chemo is chemical. Think of chemotherapy. That is a chemical. Cardi, if you didn't know, you probably know today because I said cardi is heart. And dermatologist. Dermat, it means skin, right? So some of the things you can kind of figure out. And gastra, you know that's your stomach, right? So you don't have to know everything. And this is what I knew when I went in to take my exam. So I knew some things. Like gyne, I knew that was female. Gyneco with your combining form is female. Hemato is blood. I didn't know that, right? But we know now. Hematologist, hemo, blood. Hydro, I knew hydro was water. Immuno, immunity. Laryngo, that's your voice box. Think of larynx. Nephro, that's your kidney. Neuro, that's your nerve. I kind of figured that. And ophthalmo is the eye. Again, when it has the O, it is your combining form. Your auto is ear. Patho, disease. Pulmono, lung. Rhino, nose. I knew that was nose because rhinoplasty is a nose. Now, I have an exercise for you, and the task is to build the term. So you don't necessarily need to know what the term means, but you need to know how to combine use the combining form and the suffix to create a medical word. You might be able to create this word and may not know the meaning, but it's okay. I need you to know the structure of a medical term, how they are built, and how to read them. Everything else will come. All right. So this is the combining vowel rule. The first letter of the suffix decides everything, right? So if your suffix, we know this is a suffix because the dash is before the suffix. So if that suffix is a consonant, then it will need the combining form. If that suffix is a vowel, then you will drop the combining form. You do not need two vowels sitting next to each other. And that's only pertinent to the suffix, okay? All right. So I'm going to need you to tell me the correct way this term should be spelled. For one, put a 1 in the chat. For two, column 2, put a 2 in the chat. So let's practice. Cardiology is the correct spelling in column 1 or 2. Go ahead, put your answers in the chat. And if you want to say why, I'm going to shout you out. Hi, DC Kicks. Hi, Major or Marjon. Marjon. Good job. The chat is raining ones. Absolutely. The correct way is cardiology. Uh-oh, I went a little too fast, so I apologize. All right, so I'm going to give it to you. How do you spell carditis? And it's carditis. I apologize. All right, number 3, neuralgia. Is it spelled like column 1 or column 2? Go ahead, put your answers in the chat. All right, I see you all whizzing through, and the answer is 2 because the suffix begins with a vowel, and if it begins with a vowel, you have to drop the combining form vowel. You can't have 2 vowels sitting together often. Not always, but often. Okay, osteoporosis. How do you spell it? Column 1 or column 2? Go ahead, put your answers in the chat. And what you have to do is determine what is the suffix, and it's sitting here. What is the suffix? Is it 1 or 2? Go ahead, put your answers in the chat. And the chat is raining. That's what I like to see. And the answer is 1. Yes, osteoporosis. This P is a suffix, so it needs that vowel. All right, last word, gastrectomy. How do you spell it? Gastrectomy. Is it column 1 or column 2? That's right. The chat is on fire. And yes, it is. It is. It is. And what are you saying? You all are saying that the answer is 2, column 2. Absolutely, gastrectomy, because this is a vowel. It's a vowel. Drop the O. Drop that other vowel. Gotta go. The O gotta go. Okay, let's continue. Arthroscopy. Arthroscopy or arthroscopy. They're pronounced both ways. Arthroscopy or arthroscopy. Arthroscopy. Okay. And the chat is raining 1. Absolutely. Arthroscopy is the correct term. We are not going, see, this is a scope. It's a consonant, no vowel. Excuse me. It's a consonant. You need the vowel. Consonants need the vowel. All right. Arthritis. Arthritis. What is the correct spelling? Column 1 or 2? Go ahead, put your answers in the chat. All right. You all are moving fast, and the answer is 2. Yes, arthritis. We don't need another vowel sitting next to it. Excuse me, nephrectomy. I apologize. Nephrectomy. How do you spell it? Is it column 1 or column 2? Which one is correct? And the answer is, you all are so good at this. It's 2. We don't need 2 vowels sitting next together. All right. Hepatomegaly. Hepatomegaly. Is it 1 or 2? Which one is spelled correctly? Yes, the answers are coming through, and you all are saying 1. Outstanding. Hepatomegaly. And finally, dermatology. Is it spelled correctly in column 1 or 2? That's right, Miss Olga. Miss Olga said, outstanding job. Okay, Cherry, that's what I'm talking about. Good job, good job. Okay, the answer is one, dermatology. There's the consonant. So the consonant needs the combining O. Way to go, way to go, way to go. So what you've just built, you've built 10 terms. You've built cardiology. If you didn't know, that's the study of the heart. Logi means study. You've also built arthroscopy. Scopy is examination, a visual examination of the joint. Carditis, itis, it means inflammation. Inflammation of what? That heart, right? Arthritis, inflammation. Inflammation of what? That joint. Arthur is a joint. Neuralgia. Neuralgia means pain of the nerve or nerve pain. Nephrectomy. Ectomy means removal. Removal of what? That's your kidney. Osteoporosis. Porosis means it's porous bone. Um, excuse me. Osis is condition. Osteo means bone or porous bone. M- Hepatomegaly, megaly like mega means enlargement. Enlargement of what? The liver. Gastrectomy, ectomy means removal. Removal of what? That stomach. Surgical removal of the stomach. In dermatology, ology is the study of dermat, the skin, dermatology. So remember, coders, if it's a consonant, we're talking about combining vowels, keep the vowel. If it's a vowel, drop it. Generally, generally. Okay. All right, Marquette, come back next time. Thank you so much for joining us. And now let's turn our attention to prefixes. You all did an amazing job with the word root and the combining vowel. Let's go ahead and talk a bit about these prefixes. And a prefix is added to the front of a term, right? And prefixes can describe the location, the number, and the time or frequency. Location of what? Location of the condition. Is it sub, below? Is it anti? Is it hyper? Yeah, that's location. Elevated. All right, number, mono, one. That's an example. In time or frequency, like post, post. Anti is also time too, right? Like antepartum. But I don't want to go too off task because I'm getting ready. I could feel myself doing that. But just keep those three in mind: the location on the body, the amount or number, or time. All right. Now, not every medical term has a prefix. It does not need it. Okay. Yeah, you can build a term with a word root and a suffix. All right. When a prefix is written by itself, it is followed by a hyphen, right? Remember I said you can tell it's a prefix because the hyphen comes after it, the word comes before, or the word is pre, right? Before means pre. So you can see intra is a prefix, hyper is a prefix, and multi is a prefix. Intra means within or inside, hyper means over or above, and multi, that means many. Now it's time for you to go ahead and build the term based on prefixes and those rules. Remember that prefixes sit in front of the term and it changes the meaning. It modifies that root word. All right, now we've got 2 rounds. Some common prefixes are hyper and hypo. Hyper is can be location. It can. Hyper means excessive. Hypo is the opposite. It means below. Brady means slow. Tacky means fast. Intra. means within. Inter means between. Pre, like prefix, means before, and post, that means after. And now I've said it, now you can read it. Hyper is excessive, hypo is below, Brady is slow, tacky is fast, intra is within, inter is between, pre is before, post after, poly means many, olig is few, sub means under or below, and supra means above or over. And you can see there are more than one term for the same that have the same meaning, like hypo and sub have the same meaning and can be used interchangeably sometimes. All right? Now, just know a prefix never changes the root. It just tells you where, when, or how many or how much. Yeah, like where it's located, how many units, or how much. All right, same deal here. Now, but this is a little different. Which word carries the meaning on the left? So if we're talking about slow heart rate, and we did study this, right? We did study these terms just a little bit. So if you don't remember, it's okay. Slow heart rate, is it bradycardia or tachycardia? Go ahead, put your answers in the chat. I did say, and think about it like this. Anybody ever watched the Brady Bunch? Brady Bunch was this back in the day um, television show, and Brady's were really they were kind of conservative, and they didn't, they weren't wild. They were like the perfect family. They didn't really do anything wrong. So we're just going to say they moved kind of slow, but tacky. When you think of a tacky person or a woman, or, they do say that she's tacky. I don't really hear them say a man is too tacky, but that means she's moving a little too fast, or she may be. Just saying. So think of it like that. Brady, slow, tacky, fast. All right. So you all said bradycardia is the correct definition. Okay, I'm going to pick it up. High blood pressure or hypertension. Which one is it? Oh, I kind of gave it away. High blood pressure. When you add that term to tension, is it hypotension or hypertension? Go ahead, put your answers in the chat. You all have already started, and I messed it up. I do get ahead of myself. I apologize. And it's hypertension. Way to go, way to go, way to go. All right, now this means within a vein, and the prefix is Venice, right? Excuse me. The suffix is Venice, and we want to know what the prefix is that gets attached. All right. And is it intravenous or intervenous? Intra or intervenous? And some people might say, I didn't even think about that. And if you remember the definition, it is intra. Intra means within. Venous means the vein. Okay. So maybe we learned something. It's not inter. Inter means beside. Now, around the heart, what term um, means around the heart when you attach it to cardium, that word root? If you said pericardium or endocardium, what does peri mean? What does endo mean? And if you know what it means, you will kind of figure out what is around the heart. Go ahead, type your answers in the chat. Oh, you all did it. It's peri. Peri means around. Outstanding. Okay, now we want to say what means before surgery. Is it preoperative? or postoperative? Which one? Go ahead, type your answers in the chat. Those answers are coming through and they're saying pre-op, pre-op. That's right, before. Outstanding. Okay, you all ready for round 2? Here you go. All right, what means under the skin? If you combine it with cutaneous, is it transcutaneous or subcutaneous? Is it 1 or 2? Go ahead, put your answers in the chat. That's right, Vina Vandy. She said, outstanding job. She is right. Transcutaneous or subcutaneous? Which one is it? They're moving so fast, aren't they? Hi, Brenda. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, if you said 2, outstanding. Sub means below or under. Trans means through. Good job, good job. Okay, is it 1 or 2? Excessive urine output. If you combine it with that root, urea, is it polyuria or oliguria? 1 or 2, what say you? Those answers are coming through. Hi, Yvonne. Welcome to class. And the answer is polyuria. Outstanding. Hi, Linda. I think you were here earlier. Okay. What means paralysis of one half of the body? If you combine this term with plegia, is it hemiplegia or quadriplegia? Which prefix means paralysis of one half of the body? What say you? Those answers are just coming through. Outstanding, outstanding. And that means hemiplegia. That's one half. Quadriplegia, that's a little more. Okay. What means without sensation? If you if you add this prefix to aesthesia, what mean of the 2, which one means without sensation? Is it hyperesthesia or is it anesthesia? Anesthesia or hyperesthesia? Yeah, I think the way I pronounced it was the clue, and it is anesthesia. Anesthesia means without sensation. When they put you under, they put you under. And that term, that prefix "an" means without, right? And sensation, that anesthesia is the correct term. All right, what term means between the ribs? Is it 1 or 2? Subcostal or intercostal? Subcostal or intercostal? What say you? Those answers are coming through, coming through, coming through. All right. Everybody said intercostal. I think somebody said 5. Okay. Okay. I think you're getting me. Okay, subcostal would be below the ribs, but intercostal, that's between. Very good. Outstanding job. And you know what you've just built, coders? You built terms like bradycardia, that slow heart rate, subcutaneous under the skin, hypertension, that's high blood pressure, polyuria, excessive urine output, intravenous, within a vein, hemiplegia, this is paralysis of one half of the body, pericardium, this is membrane around the heart, anesthesia without sensation, preoperative, this is before surgery, and intercostal, this is between the ribs. And what you've just learned, change the prefix, then you can change that meaning. Way to go, way to go, way to go. All right, so we're getting down to the wire and we're going to look at these suffixes. Now we know prefix is the beginning. Word root is the general meaning of the term, and the suffix, well, that suffix sits at the end of the term and it tells you what is happening, which word says what you mean. All right, that's what we're going to practice now. We're going to practice these suffixes, and we want you to determine which word says what you mean, but you've got to learn what they mean, right? So, ectomy means removal, otomy means cutting in, ostomy means creating an opening, plasty, that's plastic repair, itis, inflammation, oma, that means condition, megaly, enlargement, and logi, that means study. And so you saying, okay, Mrs. J, you about to repeat it on the other side. Absolutely. Okay. So, and I may have said it differently because I did those off the top of my head. So let's go and see what the official terms are going to be. But just keep in mind, there are two families of suffixes. And if you've been studying like the interns have, they probably have deduced that, hey, there are two families. You have surgical suffixes and you also have condition or diagnoses suffixes. And let's take a look. Surgical suffixes, these are used for surgical procedures. So when you kind of leave I2MC, you're going to be pretty much here. You're going to be coding these surgical suffixes, and you need to know that ectomy is surgical removal, otomy is cutting into or incision, ostomy create is surgically created opening, plasty is surgical repair, scopy that's visual examination. So you're going to learn that, and they are also in your CPT manual at the beginning of the chapter. Conditions and diagnoses, these are suffixes that you'll see on diagnoses, like itis, which means inflammation. Oma, I said condition, it does, but it means tumor and mass as well. Algia is pain. Megaly, enlargement. Osis, this is abnormal condition. All right, you all got it? I'm going to let that marinate for a moment because we are going to do an exercise. All right, so is it column 1 or column 2? Which word carries the meaning? If it is a surgical removal of the appendix, is it an appendectomy or appendicitis? Which one? And when you think about it, coders, think about if it's a procedure, surgical, or condition. So this right here, surgical removal of the appendix, this is a procedure. And the chat is just raining. Ah, all right. It is one, appendectomy. Ectomy means removal. Good job. Ready for the next one? What is a surgical repair of the nose? Is this a procedure or is it a condition? Well, if they're doing something, if the doctor is doing, it's a procedure. So the repair is either going to be rhinorrhea or rhinoplasty. Which one is surgical repair of the nose? Okay, this might be too easy for you, but the answer is to rhinoplasty, plastic repair of the nose. Okay, visual examination of the stomach. Is this a procedure or is it a diagnosis? Well, if the doctor is doing something, it's a procedure. Is it a gastroscopy or is it gastrectomy? Which one? Visual examination of the stomach. All right, good job. And I hope you see that these are both procedures. One is a scopy, the other is an ectomy. And a scopy means a visual examination of the stomach. All right, which one means surgically creating an opening into the colon? Is it a colotomy or a colostomy? What say you? I know they are amazing. You all are rocking it. Hi, Tiara. Welcome. What are you saying? Okay. All right. So, surgically creating that opening is an ostomy. Think about an ostomy bag. That is a colostomy. Good job. Good job. Way to go, everyone. Okay. Incision into the trachea. Is it a tracheotomy or a tracheoplasty? Go ahead, put your answers in the chat. And I just want to remind everyone as we approach 1 p.m., these classes go until 1:30 because of the amount of content and the number of you. We want to make sure that we address everyone. And if you said tracheotomy, outstanding. This is an incision into the trachea. Tracheoplasty would be a plastic repair of the trachea. And if you got all of those correct, outstanding. But if you learned something, that's priceless. Now let's move on to round two. What means inflammation of the liver? Is it a hepatoma or hepatitis? What say you? All right. The answer is hepatitis. And if you notice, this is a condition or a diagnosis. It is not a procedure. Itis, hepatitis, inflammation of the liver. Next one, nerve pain. Is it in column 1 or 2? Is it neuralgia or neurology? What is the correct term? Hello, Beyond Blessed. Good job, Ma. Good job getting that in the chat. Hi, Yvonne. And the answer is neuralgia. Algia means pain, and neuro means nerve, nerve pain. All right, enlargement of the heart. Which term means enlargement of the heart? Is it cardiology or cardiomegaly? What say you? All right, those answers are coming through. And the answer is cardiomegaly. We've already done this one, I believe, today. Great job, everyone. Okay, abnormal condition of the skin. Of the two, which one means abnormal condition of the skin? Is it dermatosis or dermatitis? What say you? And the answer is dermatosis. Osis means abnormal condition. Derma, skin. Outstanding. Did you all notice that I was reading the term backwards? I read the suffix first, then the root word. And sometimes that is the way you do it. And sometimes it's read the other way. However, there is a technique when it is multiple when there are multiple roots. But whenever you're reading a term, it could be read backwards or forwards generally. And that rule does not apply when it's multiple roots. And we're going to get to that. And finally, the study of blood is a hematoma or hematology. What say you? Good job, good job, good job. The answer is hematology, ology, study of blood. Outstanding, outstanding. And hematoma, that's blood. And oma was condition, but it does mean tumor too. But stay with tumor. I'm old school. All right, so what you've just built Coders, appendectomy. This is a surgical removal of the appendix. Hepatitis, inflammation of the liver. Rhinoplasty, that's the surgical repair of the nose. Neuralgia, that's nerve pain. Gastroscopy, that is the visual examination of your stomach. Cardiomegaly, enlargement of the heart. Colostomy, surgically created opening into the colon. Dermatosis, abnormal condition of the skin. Tracheotomy, incision into the trachea. And hematology, study of the blood. And if you said, hey, some of these words are different, that means you are forensic. You're being forensic. A couple of them I changed, just a couple. All right, so just remember, coders, when you change that suffix, you change the procedure. And also, the first set of words were surgical suffixes. The second were diagnoses, diagnostic suffixes. All right, now I mentioned that when you have more than one root, there is a way to read it. They have a system, but generally there is none. But when you got more than one, there is. So long terms are not harder. They just take longer. They're just longer. Think of it that way. And we're going to practice taking them apart piece by piece. And there are some terms that we need to review first. And do we need to review any terms? Let's see. Gastro, I think we already did, but I'll do it. Gastro is your stomach. Enter is your small intestine. Osteo, that is your bone. Arthur is your joint. Cardio, heart. Myo, that is your, is it the, I think it's the spine, spinal cord. I do. But myo, without the combining vowel, that is your muscle. Otto is your ear. Rhino is your nose. And laryngo, that is your larynx or throat. Just saying. All right, so here is how you read these long terms. Okay, so you start at the end, you start with that suffix. Read the suffix first, then move to the front of the term, read that, then fill in the middle. Okay, so you start at the end with your suffix, then you move to the front of the term, read that, then you fill in the middle. The middle stays in the middle. All right, so if you look at gastroenteritis, we're going to begin at the end. Itis, inflammation of the stomach and small intestines. All right, inflammation of the stomach and intestines. You all with me? That's right. They rocked it. And also, too, Ms. Mills is putting the survey in the chat, and she's also telling you about we have interactive medical terminology and anatomy every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. So make sure you start going next Wednesday. All right, so everyone's with me. Make sure you watch that suffix and let's go. All right, we've already done gastroenteritis. So is it A or B? We know that it's A because it's inflammation of the stomach and intestines, not intestine and stomach inflammation. Okay, so first, your suffix. Second will be the first part of the word, and third will be what's already in the middle. You all with me? Let's go. Osteoarthritis. Is it inflammation of the joint and bone or inflammation of the bone and joint? What say you? All right, I see some answers coming through. They're coming through so fast, right, Miss Olga? Okay, good job. Good job, everyone. That answer is B, inflammation of the bone and joint. Inflammation will go first, bone will be next, then Arthur, the joint. All right, cardiomyopathy. Cardiomyopathy. Is it disease of the heart muscle or heart muscle disease? What say you? Yeah, that's right, Ms. Vina. Ms. Vina, let me know how you're doing on your cell phone. Let me know. All right, the answer is always start with the suffix. Pathy means disease. The answer is disease of the heart and muscle. Good job, good job, good job. And finally, electrocardiogram. Is it instrument that measures heart sounds or is it record of the electrical activity of the heart? What say you? Is it A or B? Okay, if you said B, way to go. Graham is a record. Back in the day, they had those little, what do they call a record player? Some type of gram. I can't remember what it is. If you know what it is, Mr. Sandeep, put it in the chat and let me know. But it was some type of gram. It has this like horn looking thing on it. Anyway, that is a record of the electrical activity of the heart. All right, maybe radiogram. Someone said gramophone. I like that. I like that. I got to look it up, but I think that's it. Okay, now nephrolithotomy. Nephrolithotomy. What is the correct definition? Is it incision into the kidney to remove a stone? Or is it B, abnormal condition of stones of the kidney? What say you? Is it A or B? And the answer is, I'm going to let you all get it in. Is it A or B? And the answer is A. Absolutely. It's incision. Otomy is incision into the kidney, and litho means stone. There you go. All right. Pyelonephritis. Is it A or B? Is this surgical removal of the renal pelvis and kidney? Or is it inflammation of the renal pelvis and kidney? What say you? Is it A or B? And the answer, well, that's B. It's inflammation. Just think inflammation, itis. All right. Ceph- encephala, encephalomyelitis. This is inflammation of the brain and spinal cord. Or is this tumor of the brain and spinal cord? What say you? All right. That chat is raining and they're saying inflammation of the brain and spinal cord. They see that itis, that suffix. This suffix is really driving the answers. Just thought I would tell you. All right. Salpingo-oophorectomy. Is it a visual examination of a fallopian tube and ovary, or is it surgical removal of a fallopian tube and ovary? What say you? Look at that. Look at that suffix. What is that suffix saying? Rectomy, ectomy. Ectomy means surgical removal of a fallopian tube and ovary. Salpingo is fallopian. Oophorectomy is, excuse me, oof is your tube. Or oof. I like to say oof. All right, let's go. I believe we have the final round three. Otorhinolaryngology, that's a big old word. Is it the study of the ear, nose, and throat, or is it the study of the nose, ear, and throat? What say you? Okay, this was a little challenge. Which one? Is it the study of the ear, nose, and throat, or is it the study of the nose, ear, and throat? Yeah, it is a little, yeah, could have tripped some of you up. But remember, you start at the back, logi, that's study, and then what is this? Auto, ear, rhino, nose, and throat. And when you think about it, ENT. When you go to the ENT doctor, there you go. Study of ENT. Let's go. Hepatosplenomegaly. Hepatosplenomegaly. Is this the inflammation of the liver and spleen, or is it enlargement of the liver and spleen? What say you? Go ahead, type your answers in the chat, and they are coming through, coming through, coming. You are just rocking, rocking, rocking. And that answer is B, enlargement of the liver and spleen. All right. Let's move on. Tracheobronchitis. Tracheobronchitis. Is this inflammation of the trachea and bronchi, or is this inflammation of the bronchoscopy? What say you? That's right, Miss Haley. Miss Haley said, great work, coders. That is what I'm talking about. And if you are new to medical terminology, let me know how you're doing. I know I did pick up the pace a bit, but I think some of the things you can catch on. Good job, good job, good job. Hi, Deborah. Welcome to class. And the answer is A, inflammation of the trachea and bronchi. And finally, your ureterolithiasis. Ureterolithiasis. What say you? Is it surgical crushing of stones in the ureter, or is it abnormal condition of stones in the ureter? What say you? What say you? Look at that suffix. What's that suffix mean? Osis and asis. That means abnormal condition. Yeah. Yeah. So the answer? Abnormal condition of stones in the ureter. Good job. Good job. Good job. And this is a little different. Look at this is not following the rule, everybody. Remember I said go to the back first, then to the front, and then the middle. Maybe this should have been written abnormal condition of the ureter and a normal condition of stones in the ureter. Again, no rule is final. We can just do the best that we can. But that was that challenged the rule. Yeah. So the rules are not 100%. I would say 85%. All right. So the terms, there are 12 terms you can now read, or you can. Not all of them. Don't if you don't know them all, it's okay. But gastroenteritis is inflammation of the stomach and intestines. Encephalomyelitis, this is inflammation of the brain and spinal cord. Osteoarthritis, inflammation of the bone and joint. Salpingo-oophorectomy, surgical removal of the fallopian tube and ovary. Cardiomyopathy, disease of the heart muscle. Otorhinolaryngology, this is the study of ENT. Electrocardiogram, record of the electrical activity of the heart. Hepatosplenomegaly, this is enlargement of the liver and spleen. Nephrolithotomy, this is incision into the kidney to remove a stone. Tracheobronchitis, inflammation of the trachea and bronchi. Pyelonephritis, inflammation of the renal pelvis and kidney. And ureterolithiasis, this is abnormal condition of the stones in the ureter. All right, so remember, generally, suffix first, go to the front, then the middle last, except this ureteral or ureterolithiasis. That's a little different. All right, now want you to check out AMCI medical terminology and A&P resources. They're in your LMS. Yes. So if you are in the free LMS, and you should be because it's nothing to be in the course, and also your course goes away after 3 months. So get in there, take the course. You can't stay in there forever. You got 3 months. That's enough time for these 8 weeks. Come on, you can do it. But if you look here, right here, you've got word part arena. That's our like midterm study tool that we created for you. And we also have the anatomy lab for you. And if you are in the MCDC course, yours looks like this. Your arena's not in there. I just gave it to Mr. Sandeep. He will get it in there ASAP. But your lab looks like this. You go in there, you click student practice, and just learn the parts. This is primarily AMP. The other will be your learning the midterms. And just know there are 80 prefixes you can study, 105 suffixes, and 224 root words you can practice with 2 combining vowels. Now, if you say, hey, Mrs. J, I don't think this is the best way for me to study medical terminology. I need a formal class. Coders, do not buy a $1,500 medical terminology class. Do not. My advice, buy this $31 ebook from VitalSource. Go to www.vitalsource.com, type in Betsy Sheelan to me. She has the best medical coding course for coders. Okay, Cherry. See you next time. If you need a full course, I recommend this book. Let's take a look at it. This is what the book looks like. It is Betsy Sheelan, and they go chapter by chapter, and it is for coders. So it's going to make coding very pertinent to your learning. I will review this at some other time, but this is certified. This is Mrs. J certified. This is to me the best, and I've looked at several. Do not buy a huge, don't let anyone tell you you need another class. And this is not AMCI. We do not get anything. We have no partnership with Betsy Sheelan at all. And I have to honestly say, this is the best. This book is $31. It is affordable. And if you need a structured approach, this is the best. So go to www.vitalsource.com and plug in that Betsy Sheelan. Now let's go ahead and quickly look at the homework. Now, next week you'll be in Module 4. However, if you're AMCI MCDC student and you just want to be in these classes, you don't have to. Your module is 3. We know you're here. All right, so this is what you do. Go to your login, course login. If you did not, um, I might have to put you all on, I might have to put you all on mute just for a moment because me and this wasp, we're gonna have it out. He's over here on my microphone. So, but just go to the course login. If you haven't registered, you can do so there, okay? And then you can go right to your LMS, go to your module, and do your work in order. Next week, we will begin ICD-10-CM. All right? I don't know why this is happening to me. It's okay. All right, next week we're going to begin ICD-10-CM. These are diagnoses codes. All right. So this is where the coding begins. And go ahead, get started. These lectures are very, very easy. I'm speaking very slow on purpose. And if you need me to speed up, go ahead and speed it up. Those are YouTube videos. Go ahead, speed it up. All right. Now, you will also need Lucene. Absolutely. You're going to need to practice your Lucene. So you do need to purchase your Lucene. Go to www.coding.lucene and put in your promo code AMCI10. All right. And Lucene, if you didn't know, is your coding coach, your AI coding coach. And it's like having your personal AMCI instructor right with you 24 hours a day. And you know what? You can talk to Lucene. She's going to keep you on task. But my advice, make friends with Lucene. All right, so let me give you a little tour. Last time I showed you when you click on the link, you are going to have to register. If you put in your promo code, your AMCI 10, you get 20% off. And this is a subscription that you will need to cancel when you're finished. But you may not want to be finished for a while. Lucene has upped the ante. The people at Lucene said, Mrs. J, we got something for you. And this is for you, MCDC students. They have a part 6 where you'll get real world coding experience. We'll talk about it as they roll it out more, but I am excited over the moon. Don't forget to put in your promo code AMCI 10. And you know what I'd like to do? I want to show you again how to use Lucene. I was in there and I was asking her questions, so I want you to see. All right, so I chose my coach because Mira, because she's more for entry level coders. If you need something more suited, check out Sage and Quinn. Select your coding coach, and then they're going to welcome you in, and you will need to start at part 1. And if you say, hey, I want to see all the rest, I believe you can. You can see all the other parts. And then part 6 will appear here, and you will be blown away. All right, I'm going to start my practice. I'm going to open up this course, and it's going to say, hey, browse cases, don't do that. Just go ahead and click out of that. And then you're going to come right to your medical terminology and then click on your case. And voila. Come on. I'm going to make sure that I'm in medical terminology, review the case, and there is, does have a little, a little pause, and it's okay. And because I've done these cases before, it's going to ask me, do I want to start over? And yeah, I do. So we did this last time, so we'll go very quickly. And inflammation of the membrane lining in the abdominal cavity, I said it's diverticulosis. We know that's not correct because we just learned inflammation, itis. But I want you to see when you put in the wrong term, it kind of tells you, it says, hey, let's reason this out. You got the membrane is peritoneum, the suffix is itis. You know what? Go ahead and change that answer. So I did, I verified it, and it says, hey, you're correct. This is why it's correct. So Quinn, it has done her thing. All right, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to just go to the next case. Click on that and see where it says, that little survey. We're going to talk about that in a minute. I'm going to start over. And then the next one is a deficiency of cells in the blood. I know cyto means cells. Cytopenia. Go ahead and verify the answer. And then she's reviewing my answer. And then she says it's correct. And she tells me why. I love it. I love it. Then I said, hey, you know what? I wonder if I can ask her questions. And we did, you all know that, she does answer questions, but let's see to what extent. Medical treatment used to remove the waste products in the blood. Is it hemophilia, hemodialysis, hemophoresis, hemochromatosis? I'm just going to ask Quinn, can you break down hemodialysis for me? Just, break it down, let me see. And then, even if you spell break wrong, she'll know what you're talking about, but I just corrected it. And now she's going to break it down for me. And she says hemodialysis is the option that matches, and she breaks it down. Hemo means blood, dia means across or through, and lysis is separation or breakdown. So that is the correct answer. Now, I got another question for you, Coach Quinn. I want to know about medical coding. I want to know how to code hemodialysis. So I'm just going to ask her. Let me put my answer here. I'm going to ask her, like, What is the CPT code for hemodialysis, Quinn? Let's see if she'll tell me. And she's, there thinking, okay, what am I going to tell this woman? And she says, you know what? The answer is hemodialysis, and it's used to remove waste products, etc. And she also defines, hemophoresis and hemochromatosis. And you notice how she keeps me on task. She doesn't let me veer off because you can keep going down these rabbit holes. She keeps me on hemodialysis, the condition, that medical term. So then I asked her another question. I said, can people who don't have end stage renal disease be on hemodialysis? That's pertinent. So she's thinking about it. And then she answered. She said, yes. People who are not on end stage renal disease can. And she also brings it back to the medical terminology. She doesn't allow you to veer off. So I love this coach. The coaching is phenomenal. So make sure that when you want, if something is wrong, only when it's wrong, fill out this survey in terms of when something is wrong. Yes, fill out the survey, but when something is wrong, write a note. Only when something is wrong, write the note. If you want to say, hey, this is great, we love that, but we prefer that you say that on the survey because we read, AMCI instructors read every single one of these, and we want to know. But fill out the survey. But when you write the note, only write a note when something is wrong. All right. And that's just about it. So hopefully you got a little bit more of a glimpse of um, Lucene. And I just want to tell you that it is required and it is, definitely well spent. It is money well spent. So go to www.coding@lucene.com. Your discount code is AMCI10. All right. So, what is the best way to communicate with AMCI? Yes, you are in an independent course. And yes, it is free. So, we are available 24 hours for our students. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell the students that we were having some problems with our communication. So, if we haven't been responding to you, it's because you couldn't hear us or couldn't see us. Our mails are going to your spam. So, we are working on that and we do extend our apologies. This has been going on for a little while. So we found it, we know it's there, we are working on it. But the best way other than AMCI MCDC students to communicate with us, our instructors, is through Discord. So make sure you are in the Discord or come to class. Definitely come to class or click on the live, click on the playback and write your question there. We'll try to get as many questions as we can. It won't be as quickly as we do our MCDC students, and we'll do our best. That's all I can say. All right, so you just click on the live to watch the playback, select the week. So we're in week 2. Click on that week 2 to watch your playback. And this is what your Discord looks like. Oh, let's go back. And see right here where it says ask an instructor, click on your ask the instructor here. All right. So we'll see you in week 3. Don't forget to complete that survey. You all did an amazing job. I'm going to look back through and just kind of shout you out if I didn't shout you out before. And I just want to tell you all did an amazing job. Amazing. Yeah, hit that thumbs up if you value this content on the video, just the lecture, okay? Just hit it up. We appreciate that and fill out that survey. Thank you, team. Thank you, Mr. Sandeep. Ms. Mills, Ms. Haley. Thank you to the interns, Vina D, Olga, Linda. I know you're a student, but I'm going to call you an intern. And, if I missed anyone, please forgive me. I will do my best next time. And Have a wonderful, wonderful week. We'll see you next time. And don't forget that homework. Get started. All right. Take care, everyone.
$4,000 exam passers and free classes at AMCI. Learn to coach straight from home or on the road at